So I'm going to go ahead and join the surveying mission, and that we haven't gone over yet. This is this guy here, Sid. The idea is, we're colonizing other planets, and so first, before you colonize them, you got to survey them. You got to see if the planet's even going to be remotely habitable, because some of the survey missions, they'll be rotating worlds, and some of them are very hostile. Like there'll be meteor showers, or there'll be like radiation bursts, which like fry all the life on the planet and boil the oceans away and stuff like that. It's pretty cool stuff. We've done a whole bunch of them now, and yeah, only a few have been very habitable on purpose, to keep it interesting, to make it fun, and a little bit more realistic. Because if you're exploring outer space, most of the planets you go to are going to be completely inhospitable to human life, so you wouldn't build a colony there. So yeah, oh, here's a giant head. Colossicus creeperus explodicus, diffused by Sid. It's a good thing you diffused that thing. You don't want a giant explosive creeper head on your space station. So yeah, there's the old Firefly again in the background. Anyway, let's get on the ship here. This is the Zephyr. Here's Sid. He's the captain of the Zephyr. And right now we're docked on the spaceport here, so there's not a whole lot to do yet. We'll have to go to a planet, and this is going to be a teleporter. Here's his little dog. He takes him wherever he goes in space, because it can get pretty lonely in space, Here's a bunch of his instruments. He's got his maps. He's got his his other stuff. Turn on his ship, He's got his gas pedal. I guess you need gas pedal for a spaceship. So here's some information about the mission. I'm going to go ahead and click on Sid here, and off we go. Oh, I completed a mission to talk to him. Now he's giving me another mission to depart. Another quest to depart on the mission. So I'm going to click that, and he fires up the engines, and off we go. We're off on a survey mission here. So now we've landed on the survey planet here, and it looks pretty awesome with these shaders. But yeah, the frame rate's getting pretty terrible. But I'm just going to keep going. But yeah, here's the ship we were just on. But see, now it's got this this telepod is on, so we can actually teleport to and from the ship. Apparently, Sid, he's used a satellite in orbit to receive beam-up signals from around the planet and relay them to this beam-up pod here. That's how that works. Just throwing a little science at you. So here we go. We're out on the planet, and this survey mission's been up for a while now, so it's pretty well built up. There's all sorts of crazy stuff people have already built on here. And it's pretty awesome stuff. I'm just going to fly around and kind of show you some of the cool stuff, and also just kind of try out this shaders mod, because this looks pretty awesome. Look at this crazy waterfall. Man, my frame rate is totally eating it. So let's fly around though. Yeah, so right off the bat, there's all sorts of stuff people have built up. Here's a pretty awesome house that Luna built. It routinely gets griefed. But more or less the community has kind of helped repair it, because she doesn't seem to play anymore lately. Maybe she'll come back. I don't know. I'm trying to get more activity drummed up on the server. That's part of the reason I'm doing this video, because been a little lax on the updates, but now I've got it all up to date on 1.10.2 again. I've got everything running tip-top shape. I got rid of a whole bunch of the bugs that were starting to become a problem. Oh yeah, and there are protection mods, but they're not 100%. I'll talk about that a little later in another video. But the idea is that the idea of the whole server in general is to be paralleled to reality. So like in real life, there's no magic, force fields that stop you from walking in places, and there's no magic powers that stop you from attacking other players. But what there is usually is consequences. There's some natural consequences, some imposed consequences. The idea of this server is to allow a lot of the natural consequences of aggression to be present. So if you're going to go around and grief everybody, the natural consequence is everybody's going to be mad at you. They'll try to kill you. They'll try to break your stuff. And there's actually a couple of protection mods that they can use to limit what you can do, which aren't terribly realistic. But in real life, there's actual prisons that you can throw people in a game. people can just make a new account. They can just they can do all sorts of stuff to sort of cheat like what would normally be semi-realistic. You just log out. You can't log out in real life. So there's instead mods to help sort of, you know, make things work practically in the game without making them too hilariously unrealistic. We'll talk about some of the protection mods in another video, like I said. So this area here used to be called Horsefield, and it was a pretty nice little city with all sorts of stuff in it, but everybody moved away, and somebody leveled the whole damn place for some reason. That's why it looks so weird now. So that's a pretty bizarre, large-scale project that he just figured, hey, I don't know, let's level the whole place for some reason. So yeah, that's how. That's what we're looking at here. And I don't know who built this. This is kind of new. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen quite a bit of the builds on this server because everybody took off in like every direction. They built all sorts of cool stuff all over the place, and I don't know where it all is. There's quite a bit. There's mods and stuff for like doing dynamic maps and whatnot, but I don't like to use those because these are survival worlds where raiding is technically possible. So I don't want to give raiders a heads up on where to find things to grief. So that's not enabled, even though I could easily install it. I've had it before, but yeah, it just doesn't fit with the theme of the server, so we're not using them. This looks pretty cool over here. Wow, look at that view with the sunshine and everything. That looks awesome with shaders. These shaders are really cool looking, man. Look at that. So anyway, I'm going to go and show you how to beam up. So like, say you want to go to one of the other planets. When you first join the server, it will put you on survey, usually, if it's available. But yeah, let's go to another planet, because this one, let's say we're bored of it. And I'm going to beam up. Just type in the beam up command. And it puts down a portal. Sid gets the signal. I'm in creative mode, so I just walked right back into the portal and beamed back out. I got to do it again. And I'm back on the ship. Let's avoid the portal this time. Here I am on the telepod, and I'm back over here with Sid, and I'm bored. So Sid, let's go. Let's get out of here. And you want to go back? Sure. So off we go. We're going back to the space station, and here we are. Now we're back on the space station. Let's go to one of the other missions. I'm just going to kind of show you a bunch of the worlds and just kind of give you a feel for where everything is, what's on the server, what sort of cool things people have built, what sort of things are possible. And so yeah, here's the other two missions. We got Anarchic Frontier. This is one of the first expeditions. We actually had another expedition over here called Voluntarist Expedition. That was the first one, and we went out of range of the planet. Like the space port here, it's floating through space at high speed, and these shuttles, they have to go to and from the planets in order to get you there, and eventually it's just too far. That's the backstory for it. The technical reason is I don't want to run 15 different servers to accommodate all the worlds. So yeah, I retire old worlds every now and then, and I put them into the astral realm. I'll show you that later. They're pretty cool. But yeah, so let's check out the Anarchic Frontiers expedition over here.